Welcome to Backyard News. I'm your host, Chelsea McGarity. Today, we are going to travel through time to interview several famous Virginians. These famous Virginians made huge impacts that still affect us today. Follow me to meet our first one. Hey, Miss Walker, how are you today? Why don't I hold the microphone, ma'am?
Oh, yes. That would be easier.
So, Miss Walker, you are the first African American woman to own a bank. That is a huge accomplishment.
Why, thank you. Yes, it's lots of hard work.
Your bank open.
1903.
Wow, so that was even before women had the right to vote. You must be quite the leader in your time.
I've heard people say that.
Were you born in Virginia?
That's correct. In Richmond, Virginia.
We're so lucky to have such an accomplished woman from here. Is there anything else you would like to discuss?
I would just like to thank my organization, Order of St. Luke. They helped many African Americans get work, especially women.
Like a great organization to work with. Thank you, Miss Walker, for coming on our show.
Thanks for having me.
Next, we will be visiting former Governor and Senator Harry Byrd. Mr. Byrd, we usually shoot backyard news in the backyard. Can you please explain to me why you've asked us to shoot in the front yard instead?
Well, my policies help build these roads. Thought we might as well show them off.
Can you explain to me a little bit more about how you helped build these roads?
Well, I instituted a policy of pay-as-you-go to help build these roads.
What is pay-as-you-go?
It's when the government pays for the roads as they have the money instead of going to debt or owing money.
So you really helped Virginia stay out of debt.
Sure did.
And what position did you have when you were helping with Virginia's roads?
I was the governor, and I didn't just help with the roads, I modernized all of Virginia.
Well, that's great. Now let's talk about your role as senator.
Oh, I do not want to talk about that.
Why not, Mr. Byrd?
Your 2020 governor has shut down schools now and no one is complaining.
Well, our governor shut down schools to keep our students and faculty safe. That's not what you were doing.
I will not talk about this.
Seems Mr. Byrd has left the interview, so I might as well explain what happened. When Harry Byrd was senator, he supported massive resistance. In the early 1900s, schools were segregated. African American students and white students couldn't go to the same schools. Then a court case, Brown versus Board of Education, said schools had to integrate, which means African American students and white students going to the same schools. Harry Byrd told leaders in Virginia they should shut down schools to avoid integration, and schools all over Virginia shut down to avoid integrating. That was called massive resistance. Let's see if we can talk to someone else to better explain integration. Now to the year 1954. Oliver Hill, over here.
Yes!
Hill, why are you yelling?
I am celebrating. The court just ruled separate is not equal.
Can you explain a little more what that means for America? For Virginia?
Well, all over America, but Virginia specifically, our schools have been segregated. African American students and white students have not been able to go to the same schools.
Is this a problem?
The African American schools were lower quality, old books, old school buildings, not as many resources. It wasn't fair. It wasn't equal.
How has that changed?
Today's court case, Brown versus Board of Education, schools have to integrate. African American students will get the same education as white students.
Do you think it makes it more significant that you yourself are African American and from Virginia?
It makes me very happy to fight for the rights of my community.
So much for your time, Mr. Hill, and congratulations on your win. So now I will take you to former Governor Linwood Holton, Governor of Virginia from 1970 to 1974. Mr. Holton, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
We're just speaking to Oliver Hill. He had just helped win Brown versus Board of Education, but that was almost 20 years before you were in office. Can you tell us how that has affected your time as governor?
Even though Brown versus Board of Education was so long ago, we are still working on integration. Still? Yes. Well, with massive resistance shutting down schools, it took a long time for Virginia to integrate.
You yourself send your daughter to an integrated school?
Well, if I'm going to promote equality, it starts with my own family.
How else are you promoting equality?
I am putting more African American people and women in positions of power than ever before. Why is this important? If we want people to be equal, we need to give all people power.
Love your sentiment. Thank you so much for speaking with us, Mr. Holton. So now to Arthur Ashe. Mr. Ashe, thank you for joining us. Please make yourself comfortable. Most people I interview don't lay down, but I suppose that's all right. Could you please tell us your claim to fame, Mr. Ashe?
Hi, Backyard News. I am the first African American to win a major championship in tennis.
Well, that's a big accomplishment. That must have been a lot of hard work.
It certainly did. I practiced for hours and hours since I was a little kid.
In Virginia, right?
Yes, in the capital, Richmond, Virginia.
What are you going to do now that you've won?
I will continue to play tennis, hopefully get into the Hall of Fame. Then I will work on my other passions.
Those passions.
I want to write a book and speak out for social change.
Certainly is a noble cause. I am sure you will inspire many people. Good luck on your next game. The last person Backyard News will be visiting today is Mr. Douglas Wilder. Mr. Wilder, what is it that you do here in Virginia?
I am the governor of Virginia. Bless you. Well, thank you.
First African American governor of Virginia, is that correct?
Not just of Virginia, of all the United States.
That is a huge accomplishment. I am sure you are setting the stage for lots of people. What years will you be the governor?
From 1990 to 1994.
Thank you so much for paving the way for other people. Today we have met 6 iconic Virginians. They have helped shape the way Virginia is today. Until next time, I'm Chelsea McGarity, and this is Backyard News.